I was looking at some of these old paycheck tickets I got here from when I was a kid, and I stupidly just kind of joined in some other guys who were working at these chicken house egg farms. They're kind of like, yeah, we're doing this. Yeah, you interested in doing that? So I ended up doing that gathering eggs bullshit. But these tickets really show how these wealthy businesses screw over kids. This is how they do things. I'm looking at the paycheck here. I see one here. It shows that I worked 6 hours, and I got, for my 6 hours of labor, I got $20.81 after taxes. So 6 hours, I got paid $22.50, and the government took $1.69 in taxes. You know, it's kind of weird to me how, besides the multi-million dollar corporations screw kids who don't have parents looking out for them, whose parents let them take these shit jobs. The government screws you. Why would the government tax children who are working? Wouldn't there be a law that says, well, we'll start taxing you when you're 18 and can vote? How about that? Not that voting is anything to get excited about, because all you do is vote for one criminal or the other, one sociopath or the other. But yeah, 6 hours of labor in a chicken house, $20.81. 6 hours. 6 hours. That's a long time to be working and get $20. You know, there's some others here. It's all the same pay, but you know, here's another one. I worked 8 hours, and I got $27.75. $27.75 for 8 hours. You know, when I see those numbers and I say them, it's like, gee whizzes, what is this to? Yeah, that was this the 1820s. They were paying that. Like, gee whiz, 8 hours and you get $27 for 8 hours. That's insane. But that's how these farm farm businesses, that's how they make their money. They screw you. They screw kids, because that's America. You know, let's wave the flag, let's sing the anthem, let's all go to church, because we're all good Christian Americans. But then we're going to screw kids to do a shit job, get exposed to fungus, viruses, bacteria, all this crap that could hurt you. You're going to pull dead, rotting chickens out of cages, and for that, you know, for a day of that, you get $20. That's criminal. It's completely unethical to work kids to do these shit jobs, knowing they don't have to pay them anything. Because this is nothing to a multi-millionaire business corporation company. What they paid me to do a day's work was nothing. That's like you're getting free labor. You are working. They're not paying you anything. It doesn't cost them anything. There's no benefits here. It wasn't like, oh, well, you get health insurance, you get this, a paid vacation. None of that. This was all supposed to be like part-time pay for children, and that's how they get things done. That's how your food ends up on your plate, because farm industries use children. And then once you get to be a grown up, if you're still in that cycle of working shit jobs, well then we're a child, now you're the grown up, and you're still getting these low pay shit jobs where you abuse animals, you take part in animal abuse. So they use the animals. They just lock animals in cages and they lay the eggs, and they're sitting there for years in these cages and can't move. And they have the same regard for children that are doing the work. And these fucking criminals sit there in their suits and ties in their air-conditioned offices, in their luxury offices. And I know I've been there in DUBOIS. I've been in that big shot's office. Luxury office, nice, wonderful place to sit and just have all these kids make you money. So you sit there in that air-conditioned office with that air conditioner blowing up your ass crack, raking in the big money, while you have badly parented kids. You have kids who don't have good parents who are looking out for their well-being, because if they were, they wouldn't work. Your parent wouldn't let their kids work these stupid shit jobs. Just wouldn't. Where you reach in a cage and pull a dead, rotting chicken out in pieces with your bare hands, and you're in all that filth. And if you do that for 8 hours, we'll give you 20-something bucks. That's how, and this is in DuBois County, Indiana, the heartland right here. You can see it on the ticket. It says DuBois Elevator Company, DuBois, Indiana. This is how these criminals fuck you over. They fuck over kids, they use kids. Farmers have done that long before there were factory farms. Farmers have always used kids basically as slave labor to do shit work. Farmers would crank out kids, get the woman pregnant every year, and basically you have free slaves. You just, when a kid's 5, he can start doing chores. Well, these big mega companies who have these mega chicken farms, egg farms, they do the same thing. A modernized version. It's not their kids. That was a shift in one time in American history. Like when I was a kid, it shifted. It used to be the children of farmers did the labor. Like the kids were expected to give up their life so they could work on daddy's farm and do daddy's work and get little or no pay. But it shifted when I was a kid. It got to where the children of farmers, most of them started not farming so much, but they started hiring other people's kids to do shit work for free. And that's what you see going on here. You just look at the numbers. The numbers are clear. Again, this isn't bagging groceries in an air-conditioned store. This isn't washing a car. There's a lot of jobs kids do that, they're not going to get hurt. They're not going to get exposed to bad things. This is an outright animal abuse shit job. Literally truckloads of shit. You walk down through those rows, a lot of those chickens, They're flapping their wings. There's shit and piss flying everywhere. There's all that dust. Here's one. I worked 36 hours and I took home $120. 36 hours. $120. So basically a week of work, I got $120 for a week's work in those shithole animal abuse factories. Here's another one, 43 hours. This is supposed to be part-time, like I'm a kid. Farmers get away with the labor laws. They don't, the government, the lawmakers, they kiss the farmers' asses, the farm industry, and even these mega farms that we got to. It went from family farm to the mega farms, the factory farms, decades ago, and the government just kept the laws the same because the government kisses farm industry's asses. The farm mafia. The politicians will dare not make any laws about the farmers. They can dump the shit down the creek and they don't get in no trouble. I've seen it happen. They give farmers a free pass to just dump shit in the creek, and then IDEM doesn't do anything about it. The government lets the farmers and the farm industry, this is an industry, this isn't Joe Bob Farmer with a pitchfork. These are mega factory farmers, big shot industry, multi-million dollars companies, billion-dollar companies, and they export this shit to China and places like that. So this is big, big business. This is mega business, big corporations, and they pay kids. I worked 43 hours doing this shit work one week. I got $149. 43 hours, a full week, I took home $149.14. Okay? That is slave labor. That's nothing. That $149 they paid for my 43 hours of doing the shit work when I was a child is nothing to them. It didn't hurt them. They just write that shit off anyway. That's just a business expense. And again, I wasn't a full-time employee, so I didn't get any benefits. So that's the catch. So supposedly when you're a child, you can't work full-time, and which would give you benefits. Not much benefit, but a little bit. But the law says, oh no, you can't work that many hours. But I still worked 43 hours that week in a chicken shit job, but no benefits, and I got $149. That doesn't hurt the company at all. That wasn't like, gee golly, that we got to do payroll. No, they got it for free. That's free labor. If you can have somebody come to your house and do work all week and work 43 hours and all you give them is $149, you got it for free. That's free labor. So that's how these companies get by. They don't do the Christian thing. They don't do the good American thing, the ethical American thing. They do we're going to screw everybody we can. We're going to screw the little guy. We'll screw the little guy's kids. You know, mom and dad. If mom and dad are shitbags and they don't give a shit about their kids, they take advantage of that. If I had a kid and I would never let them do these jobs. I'd never let them take these jobs. But my mom and dad were so uncaring, that didn't faze them. They didn't think, hey, maybe you shouldn't be doing that crap work for nothing. Just, you're a kid. Just stay out of it. That's what I'd tell my kid. But these mega corporations, these fat cats in their suits and ties and their air-conditioned offices, they want the kids who have the bad home, the bad parents, to show up and do these shit jobs because they know they don't have to pay them anything. It's slave labor. Okay. 39 hours here I worked this week. It shows. And I got $135. 39. So basically 40 hours, $135 of labor shit work. There's no air conditioner. It's dusty. And you're pulling rotten chickens out of cages, or chickens that are still alive but have to be taken out. That's more animal abuse. And they get kicked out the back door of the thing, and they fall, I don't know, what is it, 12 feet to the ground, to the concrete. That's how that works. They can't hire ethical people who have their shit together. They have to find a kid who grew up in a broken home with the mom and the dad that are drunk or crazy, because he's the kid that's most likely to kick the chickens out the back door that fall to the concrete and not think about it. But if you're raised by good people and you have a conscience, you're not going to take this job. You're not going to do that. You're not going to take part in the animal abuse. And so here, 8.5 hours on this one, I got $29.49. 8.5 hours of labor in a shithole chicken house, and I got $30. That's full day. Full day's work, I got $30. It's amazing. And there's another one. Again, I'm a kid. I'm not 18. This was for the same company, but through a different employer. 50 hours. I worked 50 hours that week. Took home $194. Worked 47 hours. Took home $158. 50 hours, $195. These are long hour weeks here, you know. This is not a part-time job, right? 57 hours I worked. The government took $60 and I went home with $205. The government took $60 from a child working a shit labor job where you're on your feet all day. You're moving and working all day. There's no air conditioning. And in the winter, there's not much heat. So it's a shit job. And it's physical. And again, you're pulling dead, rotten chickens out of cages. You are pulling live chickens that are down and can't move out and kicking them out the back door in the wintertime. They're still alive. They're laying there. They fall, you know, again about 12 feet to the concrete. This is what farmers do. And farmers hire kids. This was the second one here that I'm talking about. This is when I worked for Snowball Rashi. Hillside Rentals, but it's still the egg industry. It's still the mega farm egg industry. It's all the same shit. They rent those houses and pay it, and then they just the guy that's the farmer, he hires the help and manages all that. So he becomes basically a manager. 52 hours I worked there this week. $201. 48 hours. I took home $162. The government made a lot of money when I was a child off of me for them not doing anything. But just remember, the government cares about you children. They're looking out for you. 45 hours. I took home $167. And the government took $48. This is under 18. I'm a child. I'm legally a child. I worked 46 and a half hours. I took home $170. The government took $53 of that check. So, another one, 54 hours. I took home $211. The government took $63. 48 hours. Took home $162. The government took $45. So it goes on and on here. It's all the same tune. Here's one. 56 hours I worked that week. 56 hours and 45 minutes. So basically 57 hours I was at work. We had a punch clock. So this is exact. This 56 hours. And we had an hour for lunch, but that we didn't get paid through that. We had to punch out for lunch. So 57 hours I worked that week. I took home $223. The government took $70. But that's, just remember, the corporations, they're all good and wonderful. They're in bed with the politicians. And the politicians who run the government, they're all looking out for you. They care about children. Yeah, I'm working 50, 54, 55 hours here, and I'm taking home a couple $100. And the government's taking $60 to $70 a week away from me. And I'm a child. Again, these are when I was a child. So that's what these animal abuse factories are looking for. The owners of these mega factory animal abuse places with the chickens, the turkeys, they want kids who won't say, I want more money or something, or this or that, or safety or something. They want kids who don't have good parents so they can take advantage of those kids and get them to do their shit work, again, while they sit on their ass in an air-conditioned office. The animals sit in cages and suffer. The children do the work and suffer and take the risk and get paid nothing. And then the multi-millionaire suit and tie scumbags sit in the air-conditioned offices and they rake in the money. And then I'm sure they brag among people that, boy, look, I'm putting people to work. No, you're ripping people off. You're ripping off children. You're an animal abuser and you're a child abuser. And that's how you people make your millions. So wake up. Wake up to reality and quit lying to everybody else. Quit lying to yourself. You're not a good Christian. You're not a good American. You're a scumbag.